Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Welcome back to the channel. Your girl, Miss Honey, is exhausted. I literally just got in from work at 9 p.m. That's right, 9 p.m. Had to watch the Real Housewives of Atlanta because I dare not wait another day to get this video up. Okay? I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I hope you guys are doing great. It's staying lighter outside longer now. Summer is right around the corner. Just hold on. A change is gonna come. I am ready for summer. Um, let's talk about these Real Housewives. This was a really good episode, and the reason why I say that it's a good episode is because we got to see a little bit more down into the marrow, to the dark, dingy, damp places of Marc and Kenya's relationship. But first, let's get the little bitty things out of the way. They are throwing, Cynthia and a good friend of Eva is throwing a beautiful, beautiful baby shower for Eva. They wanted something that was grown up and just sort of ethereal, very, very close to her personality. The theme was sunflowers, love, and light. And that's totally Eva because she's a little bit of a rock and roll country girl hippie type situation. The love and light part, maybe with her children. Definitely with her husband. But we all know that Eva can be a piece of work. But that's neither here nor there. The girls get together at one of her good friends' home and they throw a beautiful shower. Sunflowers everywhere. All the girls show up. They are absolutely beautiful, each and every one of them, including Nene. And most of the girls had sunflower head rings on, you know, kind of like you see the kids in the 60s do, the women in the 60s do. And everybody brought gifts, and it was just really, really nice. Nene came in the door shading Eva. I know this ain't Eva house. She's been moving from Matchbox to Matchbox. She's never invited me to. Wasn't y'all just in Canada apologizing? Didn't that girl just go in the label, partial, preterm, I don't know, whatever label, trying to come to your made up event? You know what I'm saying? Like, have some class. To me, that's classless. You don't get to somebody's house and be dogging them out, especially like that on camera. If you got something you want to say, you pull your good friend aside and say, girl, I know she ain't in here with these flimsy ass plastic forks. Now, why wouldn't she get plastic forks that was more solid, more sturdy? You don't serve steak in these little baby throwaway forks. Now, that's the kind of stuff I'm shading on. That's the kind of stuff I'm gonna say out loud. But I'm not just finna come in the door dogging you. I don't like that. I don't care for it. It's classless. It's classless. But let's move forward. Let me see here. They played games at a party. You know the games, but you got to suck all the juice out the bottle, or you got to dress them up in toilet paper, make a toilet paper dress, a toilet paper design dress for Eva to vote on, you know. And beautiful black sister won that little contest, and it seemed like it was a lot of hate. I was like, oh, it's supposed to be about love and unity. I didn't understand why everything got to be a competition with the ladies, but okay, let's move on. So let me see. Tanya just continued to absorb all of the shade from Kenya. Kenya barely speaking, not acknowledging her. Tanya trying to jump in the conversation, not talk directly to Kenya, but just trying to have something to lend to the conversation at hand. The same conversation everybody talking about, and she just don't even, Kenya just don't even acknowledge her. It's like she's not even speaking. It's like Kenya can't really even hear her voice. You know what I'm saying? Like, is there somebody talking? Anybody? Huh? Oh, okay. All right. So let me see. Then we see where Tanya said Paul may or may not come to the event. Now, because Candy done tried to bring Ken and Tanya together. Y'all know Ken is Kenyan. Tanya tried to bring Candy tried to bring Tanya and Ken together to squash the beef before the charity event. But Tanya said she don't know if is gonna come because you did shade him in the worst way. You did try to drag his character. Like, she's adamant about that. She stands her ground about that. And even though Kenya said she apologized for what we saw at the apology, she was saying, I'm sorry I called you to see you next Tuesday word. And Tanya was like, it was the first time anybody has ever called me that. It was horrifying. Like, I just could not believe it. Now, y'all know Tanya is one of us. She is a sister, but, she from Canada. It's kind of different. Like, she took it like a Caucasian lady would take it. She took it like a Caucasian lady would take it. She didn't really take it like a black woman necessarily generally takes it, you know what I mean? Because I feel like if you call me to see you next Tuesday where you trying to say something about my body, like, I don't know, I guess because people used to have anyway, it's all tied into some other negativity, but that's neither here nor there. So, and then we see where Kenya was like, well, it's my first time calling somebody to see you next Tuesday. What? How does that? I don't. How? So y'all both equal? Y'all even Steven? No. 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 I want to say something else after that, but I know I don't need to be cussing on here. No. You owe me an apology, oh. Get the. That's all you got to say? Oh, she in windmill territory. She is in high windmill territory, but she got the right one because Tanya real classy with him. And like I said, she gonna try to give Tanya this partial contingent apology. She doesn't take any accountability, just like her twin Nene. Tanya said, while she was saying, you did this whole thing off of this fake, situation, and she was like, oh, well, to you it was fake. To you, she said, no, that was a direct attack on my man's character. Okay. Ooh, ooh. She ain't no idiot. She is not no fool. She is not no fool. Okay. So then we see where Candy's going to be play her alter ego on the Shy, which is, I think, a dominant film, a lipstick dominant, a hardcore film, hardcore dominant. I don't know. I don't know all these things, but she gonna be the stronger of the female figures in the relationship. She gonna be more of the male hand in the female relationship. That's the character she playing. She playing a more dominant female character in terms of a lesbian relationship, basically. And all her friends tell her it ain't far from the truth because she got masculine energy. Also, she does have an extreme amount of dryness, just real dryness. Y'all seen Beautiful Soul video where she was talking about she heard that Candy was supposed to get her own little show. I'm like, and do what? And do what? Talk through her teeth? Real dry? With her daughter who talked through her teeth? And her husband who acts oblivious even though he not? I mean, y'all might as well get Ace a show. Get Ace a show. Now, I would really turn out for Ace. I like Ace. I think Ace is a lot of fun. Okay, but everybody else, no, y'all need to be background actresses. Anyway, that's Candy. So then we see where Kenya, and Cynthia meet up, and they want to talk. Cynthia want to talk about some of the reservations she having about Mike, and she want to get Kenya advice. Now, why would you get Kenya advice? Kenya is in a wagon with one wheel and the other with no wheel, that's missing a wheel, and the other three tires is flat. Okay, and she going down a rocky hill. Okay, with no lights in the middle of the dark. Like, she is. Her issues all over the place. Like, all over the place. Really? This who you get advice from? You don't talk to Eva? I thought Eva was Ace Boone Coon. That's why you threw the doggone baby shower. Huh? You talk to Kenya? It's crazy, right? So they get there. They get to talking. And Cynthia lets on about some of her reservations, which I think she should have had on reservations, but I think she should have had these reservations and all this conversation before they got engaged. Now, people are saying she did it for the storyline, like they did talk about it, like they really, really are straight, but they went ahead and rehashed everything for the storyline. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. They really do seem like they care about each other. They really do seem like they love each other. But all them pictures that we saw of Marc, all them snuggled up pictures that they showing about them in the end, when she said 3 months after Kenya said 3 months after they was dating, she decided, she said, if he, I really hope he asked me to marry him, because if he did, I would say yes. It could be that they look like they really loved each other. They look like they was together. They look like it looked like she had found love. It can look like a whole bunch of stuff. I'm telling y'all that. I'm telling y'all that. It could look like a whole bunch of stuff. But if you don't pick at it a little bit, if you just decide you're going to ignore it, it's going to look like regular. It's going to be like a Walmart apple. You ever had a Walmart apple? Okay, and you ate all your apples but didn't eat one, and that one apple looked pristine for 6 months, like it's sitting there on the counter, like you at any minute you could pick it up and eat it. I mean, it's pristine. It looks beautiful. It ain't paying off in smell, nothing. It just looks really, really good. But you cut that joke up and see, won't it be black and rotten and mush inside? It's what they treat the peel with, the outside of it, the wax they cover it with, keep it from breaking down, keep it from rotting. And that's what you see when you see these relationships with people, and it look like relationship goals. If you ain't careful, you'll be trying to emulate something that's really a mess, that's really rotten inside. Same thing with individuals, with human beings. If you don't go ahead and cut it open and serve it up like you're supposed to, see what's really, really going, see some of the inner workings of a thing, trial and error, test that thing out. If you don't do nothing, okay, but do the nasty, you don't take no road trips. I'm going to tell you, a road trip will break a relationship down. A weak relationship cannot take a road trip. I don't care if you're going down to Macon and back, 30 minutes and back, an hour and back. Huh? You ain't taking no road trips. Y'all ain't having no family events. You don't see how this dude is around other people, people that you know, people that he know. You don't see how he carry himself professionally, all of this. Like, these are all the things that we must do before we say, I'm going to link myself to you. And you ain't going to get that from Kenya, because Kenya in a bad way too. Well, she realizes this, okay? Cynthia at some point realizes this when Kenya begins to sort of compare. She wasn't doing it on purpose, and she really gave Cynthia some very, very good advice about really, really knowing, really get to know this situation, because you don't want to be in the situation that I'm in. But then she tried to compare her situation with Marc and how he talked to her and how he dealt with her. It wasn't a direct comparison, but she was saying, for example, but Cynthia immediately began thinking about, well, shoot, maybe my man ain't that bad, because some of the stuff your man doing with you, my man don't never do with me, and then the conversation just became all about the whole Marc and Kenya situation. I really feel like when she brought up that cheating situation, she said, he's lied to her and he don't take accountability, but you don't take accountability either, sis. But we're not gonna do that. We're gonna try not to do that for this episode. And then she said it. I don't know him. I don't know him. I don't know him. And the more she say that she wanted to work, but she don't know him, girl, let me tell you something. Sometimes God will snatch you up out of something early. Okay? Because the latter part of that thing would be your death. You best to be careful. You best to be careful. If God is separating you from something or someone, you go ahead on and go. Because he know better than you do. I promise you. I promise you. This situation is escalating. It is escalating. And honestly, let's talk about it. Anyway, so all the couples are getting together and they're going to go to this event. It is later on that night. We see where Nene calls Wendy Williams. She's got to do several things. She's got to go to New York, come back from New York that night. She got to leave a meeting early so her and Greg can get back to the event. She calls up her good friend, so she tell it Wendy Williams. And she doing all this while Greg is packing her bags, doing her nails, putting on her lashes, and giving her a bottle of water, 1 teaspoon at a time. I mean, Greg wait on her hand and Mickey freaky foot. Okay, I know he don't work. Is she the money maker of the family? But baby, what I tell you, he earned every inch, every penny. He is earning it, baby. Okay, and after he do all that, she sent him out of the room so she could talk to Wendy. They talk back and forth. Wendy gives her fake advice for her fake issue, which is supposed to be Kenya, and how Kenya is being so mean to her. Like, it's bullcrap. I'm not getting into all that. Okay, Nene. Okay, Nene. We have not seen one genuine moment of concern that you have shown any of these girls. And I don't know if it's editing, but we never saw you ask Eva about the baby situation, how she's feeling. We never saw any of that, right? Like, every time we see you, you riding the shade train. Like, how are people not supposed to like you? How are people not supposed to like you? And you and Kenya are birds of a feather. You were given a take see back see apology in a minute. You know, I'm sorry I said this, but I shouldn't have did that, but I only did that because you know what I'm saying? No, just say I was wrong. I shouldn't have did it that way. And I'm sorry, and move forward and try to mean it. Try to mean it. Try to mean it. Do not live this life just for money and end up with your character being shot to hell. Just don't do it. Don't let nobody film you like this, sis. If this ain't who you are, don't let nobody film you like this. Don't do it. So, then we see with Marc and Kenya. Child, Kenya then went out last minute, let her tell it. He had just told her that morning he wanted her to dress, and I believe what she say. I believe what she say. The minute she walk in, he criticized everything. I mean, he never misses an opportunity to chastise her. It could be just putting the key in the lock, turning the knob, and walking in the door. You walked in the door wrong, and you don't turn a knob to the left to get in. You always turn it to the right to get in. I don't understand why you got so many keys on that key ring, okay? Every moment is an opportunity for him to oppress her, to take her down a notch. It's abusive as fuck. I said it. Oh, I said it. It's abusive as hell. See, because if she let it go on. Now, she got the suits. I already know what color the suit is. Okay, well, let me just show you. He got the baby. He holding the baby there. So that's another way for a person to keep you in check. You see what I'm saying? You got the kids around you. So if you cut the monkey, you cutting the monkey in front of the kids. I'm going to ding you on both sides, right? So he got the little baby in his lap now. He holding the baby and going off on the baby's mama, right? Okay. So she put the ties out, a couple of ties out. She tried to get a couple of ties that matched her dress. Her dress was beautiful. Her hair was beautiful at the event. Them clip-ins that she got in her hair... I mean, we know she got good natural hair and everything, but them clip-ins that come all the way down her breast, them long parts. Oh yes, that's weave. And so she put the ties out, and the ties too busy. The socks, he look at the socks. The socks is okay, and then he toss them. Okay, so you got to, not only do you got to go get me something last minute, but you got to pass the test when you get it back. It's like, it's something to keep you nervous, to knock you off center, to keep you unsure. Whatever anxiety and feelings and smallness he has inside of him, he takes it up like a big old fireball, and every chance he get, he tag her with it. He tag her with it. There is absolutely no kind words between the two of them. Forget intimacy. There are no kind words between the two of them. Every bit of conversation, even if it's as small as pass the salt, is strained. It's awkward. It's awkward to a stranger who just walked up. A person who don't know you, him, her, you, they, our, nothing. They just blind, coming in blind. They can feel the tension. Okay, then she's like, oh, so let me tell you something. Baby or no baby in the room, you got to know how to go off. You gotta know how to go off, because he getting real used to you being his welcome mat, okay? He getting real used to you being a place where he come and take a crap. Baby, when I tell you, you snap on him, you let him know, okay? Let him know. I'd have took all them suits, everything. I don't care what it was. I don't care how much it cost. I'd have took it to the middle of the driveway and set that mug on fire. Okay, you got to do something extreme to let somebody know you ain't the one. Okay, a little bit of crazy go a long way, and I don't care if that's with your children or with your spouse or with your parents or down at the job. If people know you got the potential, huh? Okay, to lose it on them, they'll tread lightly. They'll tread lightly. I'm not saying they won't push, okay, but they'll learn real quick how far to go. When I get quiet, okay, huh? And start being toot 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 real quick, real short, real tight, real huh? When I drop the temperature in the room just by my presence, drop it down 2 degrees. Oh, you know, back up off of it. Let it go. Let's move forward. Because what you don't want is for me to get going good. Okay? Because then I'm verbally cutting everybody's shins. Right? Huh? This is important. This is important. This is important. I know y'all had a nanny at the house. I know you did, because you going to get makeup and he going to get his hair done. I mean, getting himself dressed. He won't even let you get dressed before him. Huh? I got to get dressed before you? You left the woman at home anyway. Everybody know men get dressed faster than women, especially if they got hair and makeup. But you can't let her leave the room without giving her one more cut to the Achilles. One more cut. As long as she continue to stand upright, he gonna cut. He gonna keep cutting. And what she need to do is ask me again. You ain't got to wear none of these suits, huh? You don't like these ties? You can take these ties and shove them up your... Okay? Then they get into the whole conversation about the seating. Now, she done planned the party out perfectly. Everything, the coming and the going. Now, she got her own bodyguard that he reminds her later on that he need to back up off of her. Okay? She done planned the table seating and all of that. Now, I say, if you've got a charity and you have got your website and all of your marketing materials and all of these things, you have front and center. You must have a theme. You must have a color scheme. That's the color scheme that should have been in the room. I'm not really sure where lilac came from. I don't really know. I'm not really sure. But okay. All right. So he get to the event. Now, Cynthia and Mike show up early. They get there before Marc get there. They get to the event. And they standing there, he walking around speaking to everybody. Now, y'all know I love my peoples. I love my service workers. I do. And I feel like that's the best way, really, to get hooked up anywhere. You got to be kind to the man on the elevator, to the person that take your bags, to the person that checked you in, to the person that comes and pulls the trash, that makes your bed up. Be kind to everyone. And people will take care of you. I promise you. I get it. I understand. But for you to walk all past Mike and act like he wasn't standing there and then turn around like you was all shocked and surprised. Don't nobody believe that. Don't nobody believe that. You was shading him. Now, she also, Kenya tried to ask him, did he call Mike and Mike Sterling and Mike Hill and, the guys that he wanted to speak? Did he call them and tell them that he wanted them to speak, give them the order, line up, let them know when they going to speak and all that? He was like, no. I talked to them about it. They'll be able to do. They know what they supposed to do. Didn't nobody know what they were supposed to do. They had no idea. Now, we don't know just what a mishmash kind of pulled together, thrown together type situation it was. Now, Kenya did what she was supposed to do, finding the venue, getting the seating and all that stuff, and getting the layout and all that stuff, and the step and repeat and all that stuff. She did what she was supposed to do. The one thing he was supposed to do was control the speakers and the lineup, and that was a cluster duck. It was a cluster duck. Didn't nobody know what they were supposed to be saying or talking about. Just get out there and tell your story and, do. People need prep time. They need prep time, especially when you asking people to give. You got to be prepared. You got to have a story prepared. You got to have experiences prepared, conversation prepared. This is what invokes people to give, okay? Now, she called him and she want him to come outside. Okay, and now he done greeted Mike and Sterling and Eva and thrown Mike off by telling him he gotta speak. Then Kenya called and she wanted him to come out and get her. So he goes out and get her. But first he talked to her bodyguard and how long you been out here waiting? I've been out here waiting about an hour. He's like, oh man, where Kenya? He knows she out there because she done called him. Now he go get her out the car and she's like, hey, the first thing he say is, yeah, you had Jason wait. Now this is the same Jason you want to get off her back later on. She was like, he's security. He's supposed to be standing outside. He's supposed to be assessing the perimeter. Like it's no big deal. I wouldn't even explained all that to him. I'd be like, okay, and wife, you look good. Damn, Kenya, you look good. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, give me my props. Give me my props. Give me my props. You don't like to tie the tie too loud. What's your option? What's your option? Soon as I said, what's your options? He'd have known he went too far. Soon as I say, okay, he's a security guard, he's fine. What about how good your wife look? Soon as I said that and turned their head like that, he'd know. He know you about to go too far. But Kenya ain't got it in her. She busy running behind him like a little puppet. Not really behind him, but just continually trying to ask him for the accolades. Please, please, please give me something. Please tell me I'm pretty. Please tell me I did a good job. Please, please, please give me one tiny teaspoon, a fourth a teaspoon of love. Please, 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 I'm begging you. Can I get a pinch? He ain't giving it. Now, I don't know what's up with all these facial tics he got. Something about it ain't right. Something about it ain't right. Okay? Something about it ain't right. Okay? And I have enjoyed Marc kind of taking Kenya down a peg or two, but I can't support no abuse. I can't do it. I cannot support abuse of any kind. I just can't do it. Verbal abuse, this manipulation that he doing, I can't stomach it. I cannot stomach it. Now, like I said, it was such hostility at their home. Marc brought that hostility right on down to the event. I mean, he walked in there with a set of balls on each shoulder. It was like he pulled his balls from the back and swung them, pulled them tight around his neck and knotted them off. I mean, everywhere he went, it was just balls. I mean, he was just doing so much to seem manly and in charge. And it was clear, it was apparent to me that not only was he beyond nervous, but he was also kind of spinning out, like not being able to sit down, like being real. I don't know what he hiding. I have no idea what he hiding, but I promise y'all, it kind of escalated a little bit, him spinning out of control. See, because he ended up throwing the camera people out, trying to tell them to shut it off, end it, I'm sick of it, you got enough footage, all of that. But I really think a part of that was the fact that he really didn't have much of a story himself, or was not able to articulate it as eloquently as Mike did, Mike Hill, or Michael Sterling, or Greg Lees. Greg Lees came right on up with it. Greg Lees came right on up with it. See, when you don't know where you're going, any road will do, right? He came up there with the wisdom. I think he was feeling inadequate to Kenya, because if she does everything, then it's always in the back of your mind somewhere that here's a person that has know-how that I don't have. Here's a person that has something I don't have. He wouldn't sit with her. When he did sit with her, he wouldn't let her get up. No, you sit right here. Wait, you're not talking to me. You're not paying me no mind. You're not giving me no compliments. You're not loving up on me. You're not sniffing up on my neck like nothing, nada. Why would I still, right? I think he started to feel real inadequate for one reason or another, or for a whole bevy of reasons. But baby, when he got to the end of it and he spun out, tried to throw the cameraman off and stormed off. 2 days later after the event, they announced that they were separating and consequently getting a divorce. But let's go back. Now, remember I told you that Ken did all the seating. Everybody had a seat. Every seat was accounted for. But Marc sold a whole bunch of tickets to a whole bunch of extra people. And he was going to try to squeeze them in with everybody else. With every seat got a place setting and a glass. So if you're trying to double up and squeeze somebody in, you need place settings for each one of those people, glasses for each one of those people. I mean, like, you need to be ready for them people to come, right? To sit down to enjoy the event. So she knew it was going to be a cluster duck. Now, mind you, while he is being passive aggressively angry, I mean, just antsy. Like, even when he came back from talking and came and sat down, he sat down like behind Kenya, a table behind Kenya. I mean, people was moving around and stuff. They wasn't like all seated and attentive and stuff like that. And she was taking it out on Tanya. Tanya come sit next to Portia. Portia was like, Shamia's not here. You can sit in Shamia's seat. Kenya walked right over there and pulled the mark on Tanya and told Tanya, you can't sit here. You have to sit in your seats. Shamia and her friend seats have been given to somebody else. You have to sit where you're seated. It's an event. It's a charity event for young black males. So Tanya is a lady, and she's classy based. So she's not going to make a scene about it. But first of all, I just wouldn't have moved. I'd be like, okay, you need to go over there and worry about your husband is about to spontaneously combust. Okay. His head and that weird haircut is about to spin around off his neck. Okay, that's what you need to be over there worried about. But I digress. And she also take it out on Marlo. Now Marlo comes and Kenya say she ain't buy a ticket, and she brought her nephews, which Marc said he loved that. But Marlo was feeling the type of way because she wanted to sit with the girls. And she was sitting at the table in the back. Listen, it's for charity. I would have sat at the table in the back and been fine. But she wanted to make this big stink about the fact that she wasn't included in the table. And she tells the boys, aka her storyline, that don't never let nobody make you feel second place. What do you mean second place? The tickets are $250. You ain't paid for nothing. Last thing you are is second place. I agree with what Kenya was saying. I think, did it need that much smoke? No, it did not, because Marlo wasn't talking about it no more. I don't know why Kenya was talking about it. I don't get that. But all of that anger and passive aggressive hostility that Marc had been just putting on her constantly, she's divvying it out to the girls that she don't like. Tanya, okay, she talking about Marlo. She going from person to person talking about Marlo. And I'm proud of Candy, because the whole time she was talking about Marlo to Candy, Candy was like straight face. Everybody was kind of like taking up for Marlo. They didn't understand what it was. Even Cynthia said she feels like Kenya's anger is misplaced. It really belongs directed towards Marc, which I agree. At the same time she dogging Marlo, he walks up and said Marlo brought her two boys. I like that. I really, really like that. And Kenya looks stupid. She looks stupid. Yeah. If you say up, baby, he gonna say down. He gonna say down. And while I don't think there was anything he needed to weigh in on, I don't think there was anything for you to be talking about. You should have been focused on the event. It was very, very telling that he would not stand with you, sis. He would not sit with you. Okay, the same stuff you telling Cynthia, you need to take that advice too. She told Cynthia, if he'll cheat, then he'll lie. You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, if he'll verbally abuse you, refuse to show you any type of intimacy, don't want to communicate with you, acts as a chastiser, lies. You said he lied. You say, I've never lied to him. Well, apparently he lying to you. Okay. He must be a cheater then. He must be a cheater then. He got all these other things saying he lied. He must also too be a cheater. But with who? But with who? I want to hear Kenya really talk about the day she realized things had changed. I would love to hear her tell that story. The day she realized she was in love and in deep with the person that she barely knew, and that she was afraid. Because she is afraid. She is afraid. Like she said, I don't want to be single again. I don't want to go back out there dating again. And when I tell you it's hard out there for a pimp, trust me, it's hard out there for a pimp. Okay? Okay? You will pull a kitchen sink, some some boots from 1942 out the river before you pull out you a man that's decent enough to throw in the boat and tag and bag. I'm just being honest with you. I'm out here in these mean streets. I know. She don't want to go back to that. She's afraid. Okay. So like I said, he kind of starts to spin out a little bit. Like she is lamenting about how all the couples are kissing and hugging and loving on each other and just being together and holding hands and all this type of stuff. And Marc is just doesn't even want to be with her. Also, there is like a reporter or someone who is trying to ask them questions about how's it going with marriage and how, of course, I'm sure they had been sitting back watching the whole situation. It's like, here's an opportunity for me to bring it up and see if he gonna woo the woo the woo on the microphone, right? So he does basically. He says, "Oh, I hate it. I hate it. I think everybody knows I hate it. I'm gonna tell you now. I think the fact that he was filmed and he felt recorded and he realized that this was something that was going to show him in a bad light and not necessarily Kenya, I think that's when he may have started to spaz out. I really do. He just started to kind of lose it. He's stomping, he's walking around, he's carrying on. He wants her to get rid of the bodyguard. He's looming. Oh, you a small man inside. You are a small man. I see that now. You walk around and talk like you got a lot of machismo, Marc, but I see right now, deep down inside, you the little boy you need to be mentoring. You the little boy that needs mentoring, huh? That needs some strong male support. You that little boy. You that little boy, sir. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay? The ladies are there to witness it all. Next week, Greece, you guys, thank you so much for hanging in there with me. I know I don't do a lot of videos. Right now, all I have is Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys for watching the video, commenting, liking, sharing. It means a lot to me. We are going to get back on the bandwagon as soon as we get through the rest of this winter season and all of our good shows start coming back out. You'll start to see more and more videos. I did want to do a small video about B. Smith, but I really needed a minute with that situation because y'all know how I am. Anyway, look for that. And until next time, honeybees. I holla.